foremost, considering the critical COVID, we went into a big reform stage. And I say very clearly that from 2020 to 2022, it was a reform stage. When we reformed big way in the company, we took out the 400 crore fixed cost. We brought our working capital from 110, 115 days. We put the businesses on a growth. Then second phase was 2022 to 2024, which was a perform stage. And in that period, if you look at it, for the past 12 quarters, the company Raymond Limited has demonstrated significant growth in revenue, EBITDA, profitability, became a net debt free, and initiated some of the great corporate initiatives, which enabled the first thing, we sold the FMCG business, we became a complete debt free with a 1500 crore cash. Then we announced the demerger of the lifestyle business last year, which is getting completed. Actually, all the possibilities are done. Now we are going to list on day after tomorrow. And then, is this better? Okay. Then what we are doing now, in July we did the real estate demerger, which will take also 12 to 14 months. And that point of time, let's say next year, around October, November of next year, we would have the real estate business. And that is what we are calling upon. Now is the journey of a transform. So the journey of 7 years had 3 phases, which was reform, perform, and now we are moving into the transformation stage. And that is where you will see a significant growth across our businesses. As you all know that we have got 3 large businesses. One, the lifestyle, which will get listed on day after tomorrow. The second, the real estate business, which started from a Thane land, is getting expanded beyond Thane, getting into JDA and such things. And the third thing is the engineering. With the acquisition of Maini Precision, we forayed into sunrise sector of aerospace defense. So overall, as a group, we have seen a significant change, and you've also seen a significant value unlocking. And we believe continuously, in order to give a pure play businesses to the investors, because you all know conglomerates carry a large discount, and pure play businesses, by virtue of a demerger, truly unlocks the value. And that is the journey which we are on, and we have demonstrated exactly that, how a value can be unlocked. Now, I will ask Sunil, and we have also done very importantly, created very, very strong boards and the professional management team to run each of the businesses. So therefore, if you see on the Raymond Lifestyle, we have got a 9-member board, of which 7 are independent and all big marquee names like Vineet Nair of HCL, and Krishna Narasimha Murthy of NSC, Bennett Coleman, ex-CEO, and so on and so forth. GC Chaturvedi, ex-chairman ICICI Bank. So like that we have brought, and the professional management team. So I think that is also very, very important. At the same breath, then your business is performing well. You are also doing the right thing in terms of software aspect, in terms of governance, and so on and so forth. With that, I would like to call upon Sunil Kataria, who is the CEO of the lifestyle business, to talk more about the lifestyle business, the Raymond Lifestyle business. And then we are expecting also Mr. Singhania, the chairman of the group, also to come and address, and then we will take the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. A very warm welcome to all of you from media. And there's a great moment for us that we are on the verge of listing Raymond Lifestyle Limited as a separate entity day after tomorrow. And what I'll do is I'll quickly take you through a presentation on how do we see the journey of Raymond Lifestyle Limited from here onwards. As Amit mentioned that till over the last 4 or 5 years we have been into a major transformation. We did some corrections, then we get into a growth path, and now when we get into pure play consumer-centric lifestyle company, how do we see our growth pivots and what are our aspirations and what kind of journey that we see from here. So first and foremost, I think one of the biggest news which has happened recently, that we all know about Raymond being a 100-year young brand, that we have remained relevant across generations. I think we couldn't have got a better, support or in terms of what we stand for, other than this brand finance study which happens globally in 100 countries across 6,000 brands, and then publish the list for each country. In the brand finance India list, Raymond has made it to the top 10 iconic brands of the country this year. And if you see the kind of brand names which are there, and we make it the top 10, it's clearly a proof of the strength of this brand and what it means to the Indian consumers. Now, one big thing which I want to point out, a very sharp thing, that in this chart, quickly, that what Raymond Lifestyle Limited offers as it becomes a separate listed entity is a very unique play across 4 verticals which no single company gives in the lifestyle space. If we look at maybe our largest ethnic wear company in this in the country today, they're just pure play ethnic wear. If we look at a B2B garment exporter, there are quite a few of them, but they are just a B2B garment exporters. If we look at apparel players, the largest apparel player in the country would be primarily into ethnic wear, ready to wear, and let's say formal and casuals apparel play. Similarly, any other textile player you see would be only branded fabric or branded textile as we call it. We are well placed that we have 4 different verticals within the Raymond Lifestyle Limited. We have ethnic wear brand, Ethnix by Raymond, that we've rolled out. We have branded apparels with 4 brands of Park Avenue, Parks, Color Plus and Raymond Ready to Wear across formals and casuals. We obviously as core are the dominant branded fabric player in the country. And lastly, we have a very, very highly skilled, unique, differentiated, vertically integrated garment export business operating out of Bangalore. So this gives us a huge amount of leeway in terms of there can be some sectoral ups and downs in one of these sectors. We are well placed to be across 4 verticals. Now, how the Raymond Lifestyle Limited is structured, we have B2C businesses and we have B2B businesses. This is roughly around 65% of our business, that's around 35% of our business. Between B2C, we have the core branded textile and then we have branded apparel. And then the garmenting business that I talked of, that's B2B. And then we also have domestic B2B business also where we supply cotton to local apparel manufacturers. As Amit mentioned, very clearly, we have created, we are very focused on creating a lighthouse corporate governance structure. And with this company becoming separately listed, we have a month back created a high pedigree, truly professional board, which will be a lighthouse board in terms of corporate governance. You can see some of the names here. Mr. Murthy, Vineet Nair, Anisha was a brand expert. Mr. Vineet needs no introduction. Mr. Mahendra Doshi, Mr. Ravi Dhariwal, who is the ex-group CEO of Benetton Coleman. Mr. Dinesh Lal, who actually is from shipping and logistics industry and has been the CEO of Maersk. Mr. Chaturvedi, who is retired just recently as the chairman of ICICI. Mr. Rajiv Sharma, who joined the post last week. He is currently the global CEO of Coats Villa and just retiring from there. And then, if you see this board of 10 odd people, the one very unique feature which you won't see in most of the companies, very few companies in India, is that the ratio of independent directors versus promoter director, or let's say non-independent directors. Actually, you see 80% of these 10 people boards are completely independent directors with a very high pedigree. I am a professional director who comes on board, and Mr. Singhania is the promoter director. So there is 80% people who are completely independent. Very rarely do you see this kind of configuration in any board across, and that really tells the proof the pudding of what kind of high value that you're placing on being very professionally run organization at a board level. Another thing that we've done along with this is that we have made sure that all subcommittees of our board are going to have only independent directors. So neither Mr. Singhania or not me would be there on any of the subcommittees. So this is my management team of lifestyle. As we said, we have multiple businesses. So this first 6 people, the team is the people who run the businesses. It's an SBU structure where each person is responsible for the P&L of the business. So we have apparel, suiting, garmenting, Ethnix, shirting and home, 6 CBOs or Chief Business Officers, supported by CXO structure which runs common across. So Sameer, who's recently joined us as a Chief Financial Officer, also from GCPL, and then we have digital, we have Chief Marketing Officers, HR, CIO, and a Chief Manufacturing Excellence Officer. So the structure is very well balanced in terms of running P&Ls and then supporting with CXOs with common capabilities, supporting each business. And this team is also pretty, come together in an age band of roughly around 2 years is the age of the team into the company. And we have a pretty good mix of people who have got experience from these relevant categories and businesses. Our strategy is broadly three, simple. At a 30,000 feet level, I have to say, this is one slide which describes the 30,000 feet overview of our strategy. We have our core business, which is branded textiles, the branded fabrics. We want to strengthen the four. We see there's really a headroom to have growth in this business while increasing EBITDA margins. Two very disruptive, high double-digit growth businesses for us. One is apparel, one is garmenting, which we're calling as growth businesses, extra to growth. And then we have looked at our overall strategy saying, okay, if you're going to be a truly complete man ensemble organization, you're going to be a complete men's and fashion lifestyle company, what is that we are not serving the Indian man in their lifestyle space? Then we identified three areas which are very, very important. One is ethnic wear, which we have already rolled out. The other is a very exciting opportunity of sleepwear, which I'll talk of, and then innerwear. And these are three new vectors of growth which we have rolled out, and one is we're just rolling out, which will become multiplier of growth vectors. They are not going to be percentage growth, they are the multiplier growth vectors for us in the future. So clearly strengthen core, accelerate growth, and build the new. Now this is a very unique perspective on the Raymond lifestyle business and Raymond brand in the lifestyle space. There is no wedding in India which has been complete without a Raymond set being gifted or a Raymond suit being worn by the groom or the groom's relatives or the friends. Everybody ends up having a Raymond Indian wedding, and that's the way Indian weddings have always been. So we are a dominant wedding player brand, and let's look at some numbers. India sees roughly around 80 lakhs to a crore weddings every year, which the published data tells us the market size of the humongous Indian fat wedding market is 11 lakh crores, 1100,000 crores. Obviously, इसमें सब खर्चे आते हैं. It's everything: food, banquets, flowers, hotels, everything is there in this. Gold obviously is there in this. Now, if we see, 23% of this is spent on clothing. Again, all kinds of clothing. Both genders we're talking of, and kids as well. So then 23% becomes clothing, which is around 250,000 crores market. Now, if you further break up this clothing, then between men's and women children, 1/3 is roughly, or 30% is men's clothing wedding wear market, which is roughly 75,000 odd crores. This market, obviously, in India being a country of vast diversity, is still a largely unbranded market. People use a lot of unbranded ethnic wear, there's a lot of unbranded shirting must be happening, a lot of locally stitched garments happen. This is a large unbranded market, but we are the market leader in this brand, and this is how the shares look like. We hold 5% share of this humongous 75,000 crores. First of all, 5% may look small, but that tells you the kind of headroom of growth we have, or any brand has. But the important thing to say is we are 2.5 times the next player. And this obviously we're talking about the branded opportunity. You can see 90% market is still no brands out there. But this is what we are. Right? That we are India's largest and by far dominant wedding men's wear brand in the country. And this is where our aspiration is over the next 3 years to grow this share to around 6 to 7%. And that's where one of the pillars of strategy is geared towards. This is a business snapshot. We are, if you start from this, last year we ended up around 6,700 odd crore revenue as a business. And within that, one half was our branded fabric business, branded textile business. Now, if you see, 55% of our branded textile business is indexed to weddings. That means the purchases happen linked to wedding demand, and they get into wedding consumption. 1/4 of a branded apparel business is again linked to weddings consumption. Now, if you put these two together, what this tells us is 1/3 to 40% of our total revenue is a wedding index, and that number translates into that 5% share of the total dominant wedding market in India, where gives us the dominance. Apart from this, obviously, I've told you we have a revenue, we have a B2B business of garmenting and a B2B domestic business. Now, what we are looking forward, as we told you, that as we go towards a 6 to 7% share, what we're looking at is where we are today in this 35% share of ours, which is roughly around 2,400 odd crores of our business, that becoming 1.5 times in 3 years' time, and then obviously becoming 2.3 times in 5 years' time from now, or 6 years' time from now. Now that is the kind of journey that we see in our dominance of wedding demand. Why should we be able to do it? We are very clearly a brand which has the biggest right to win and continue to dominate the wedding wear market. First of all, quality, craftsmanship, fabric, apparels, you name it, everything is the biggest brand equity this brand has. You have seen the slide of being among the top 10 brands. Even otherwise, we know that the consumers relate to us in a very big, at a core emotional level. Second, our product range is very diverse. In branded fabric, we have products which start at 300 rupees a meter and go up to 300,000 rupees a meter. Our core of our belly of our product also lies between 500 to 2,000 rupees a meter. So we have a product and a collection for every consumer and every wedding in India. What is your buying power? We have the product for that. Secondly, we have introduced something very new segment within our fabric business is ceremonial fabrics. We are seeing as ceremonial ethnic wear is becoming bigger, it's not becoming bigger only in ready to wear. It is also becoming bigger in ready to stitch market. But there are many people whose sizes don't fit comfortably in ready to wear. They say, okay, I want to get a sherwani stitched. I want to get a bandhila stitched. And that market is also becoming very big in India. So we have started participating by launching ceremonial fabrics. So you stitch suit from us. Now we give you all kinds of ethnic fabrics to stitch whatever ethnic wear you want. You get it done. You want a bandi, you want a bandhila, you want a sherwani, you want Indo-Western, please do it from our fabric. And then lastly is a foray into Ethnix by Raymond, which is a ready-to-wear ethnic brand. That again is the third offering that we have. So between all kinds of fabric, all kinds of ceremonial fabric, and then ready-to-wear ethnic, we have a complete portfolio of wedding menswear. We have one of the largest distribution network in the country. Our 1,050 plus Raymond stores reach 660 cities in the country. That's a massive reach which nobody can replicate easily, and we're very unique in that case. We also have a very large wholesale network which throughputs our branded fabrics, and also a multi-brand network which throughputs our branded apparels as well. And lastly, in ethnic wear, now we're doing a very strategic expansion of our EBO business. We are roughly at around 120 stores. We are looking at ramping up almost 3 times. And lastly, in each of these TRS, we have something called Raymond Custom Tailoring, which all of you would have experienced at some time or other. Like I always say, you buy fabric, but you don't consume fabric. You consume garment. Now that's a very unique piece of our business, that our fabric bana to loge. Pehle cheez to hamare is a fabric banana is tough, right? Even if somebody has that fabric, how do you convert it to garment? Because people don't buy thang, they buy thans, but they don't wear thans. They wear either a shirt or a trouser or a jacket or a bandi. And that comes through the skill of tailoring. And that's where Raymond Custom Tailoring comes in, which is a very unique moat that we built. We have a huge network of tailors in every franchisee store, trained by us, monitored by us, invested by us. Obviously, while it's franchise store owned by them, where you can do any kind of customization. So in a wedding wear, you're looking at customization. You want your bandi to look different. You want your sherwani to look different. You want maybe your ceremonial suit style to be different. All that can happen in there. And then, obviously, in our ethnic store, we have created a very immersive, unique experience. And if you go to our store, you will experience that. These are 4 very fundamental reasons why we will continue to succeed and maybe become more dominant in our wedding wear segment. Which again, a skill that we mastered over the years is very clearly the piece of running Raymond stores. We have 1,000 stores, franchisees, partner stores, by and large. Now we know how to run retail stores across 600 plus cities in the country. So we are now going to ramp up our stores from 1,500 to roughly around 2,200 odd stores. So basically 700, 650. Actually, it's a number which I'm little being cautious about. But actually, we're looking at much bigger than that. We'll be in the range of 800 odd numbers plus the stores which are done. Now quickly pivots of branded textile. We have 20,000 SKUs, presence across 800 plus cities, 1,000 TRS, 1,400 multi-brand outlets, which throughput, and I already talked about the range of fabrics that we have, one for every home in India. What are we going to do in the branded? What are the growth pivots for branded fabric? Clearly, in suiting business, now branded fabric business two parts, suiting and shirting. We demarcate the two. In suiting business, we are market leaders by far. We hold around 50% plus market share in the suiting business. We are going to do category premiumization. We are seeing India is becoming richer, people have more money to spend, more aspirational. They are moving up the ladder in terms of the quality and the price points of fabric. And that is where we're investing behind products what we call as exotic collections, a new Italian collection called Regio Italia, high wool-rich wool blends, where high fashion comes in and very high fine fabrics come into play. This is premiumizing from mass to mass premium to luxury. And this is going to be a core of our branded fabric suiting strategy. So we are going to develop this top end of the market. And then obviously we're going to back it up with a distribution initiatives. In a shirting business, there's a different opportunity. While we're sitting on 50% shares in suiting, in shirting, it's a much more fragmented market in the country. We have moved over the last couple of years from around 30% shares to maybe around 20% share, but huge headroom to grow shares. And there the strategy is very clear, two folds. One, the same premiumization happens in shirting as well, through linen and top-end cotton. We launched a lot of new digital prints. We have invested behind digital printing machines in our factories, and that's driving the top end of the cotton. But there's a big play where we see of making a market share at the mass end of the market, where we have been missing till now, which is the volume growth happens through value cotton at the mass end of the market. This will help us increase shares. So a dual strategy plays out in shirting. So as a combination of this, high growth in the cotton business led by volume gains as well as premiumization, and shirting, huge gain happening to development of premium category. Coming to our branded apparel business, which is a growth business for us. 4 brands we have: Raymond Ready to Wear, Color Plus, Park Avenue Parks. And then we have 3 new brands, which we're talking about: Ethnix by Raymond, Sleepwear by Raymond, and Park Avenue Innerwear. New category, but the core existing brands are 4. Again, we are in 600 plus cities. We have between all these brands 400 plus EBOs already. We sell through 4,500 multi-brand outlet counters, and we sell through 1,400 live large format store counters. But there's a huge headroom for us to grow this. The clear focus areas are: we are going to scale up our distribution. We are rolling out a new retail identity. We have revamped each brand's brand identity. Each brand design language has now been differentiated. Which is going to be a formal brand, Park Avenue is going to be what brand, I'm going to talk about that. And then I think this is a business which we have underserved by not investing enough in marketing and distribution both. And those are going to be 2 levers that we're pressing right. So if you see the playbook very clearly, establish RR as a ready-made premium fashion wear brand led more by formals, but also going to bring in a little tinge of casualization. But it will be a formal ready-to-wear brand which Raymond Fabric stands for, and we are going to ramp up distribution in a big way. We have 100 odd stores of Raymond ready-to-wear. We're going to take it to 2.5 times or 3 years. So we'll have around 250 odd stores of Raymond ready-to-wear.